The truth about the Hormuz standoff. What the Pentagon won't confirm about the 12 boats Strait of Hormuz. 0427 hours. 12 Iranian fast boats explode out of the darkness at full throttle. They come in from the north, the northwest, and the east. They surround a single American destroyer alone in the middle of the channel. The destroyer swings its main gun north. One round leaves the barrel. The closest boat splits in half and burns on the black water. Columns of white water rise around the warship. The destroyer's close-in defense system starts to spin and spit fire. 4 Iranian boats burn at the same time on the dark sea. On the warship's radio, a cold, flat voice gives the final order. Weapons free, weapons free. All units cleared to engage. The main gun swings again. Another Iranian boat turns into wreckage. 5 hours before this, the sea was quiet. 23:27 local time. USS Cole, an Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer assigned to 5th Fleet, runs the central channel of the Strait of Hormuz at 15 knots. Routine patrol. The Iranian coastline sits 20 nautical miles to the east. The Omani coast is 15 miles to the west. The destroyer's spotlights are dark, only navigation lights and the faint glow of the bridge wing. The sea is glass. The moon hangs over the water like a coin. On the bridge, the officer of the deck checks the chart with a pencil in his hand. In the Combat Information Center, the radar operator watches 2 screens at once: surface and air. Nothing hostile in 4 hours. The night cook pours coffee for the watch. The quartermaster logs the position.
Confirmed. All
2 naval combat helicopters sit on the flight deck aft. 1 armed, 1 in maintenance. Below decks, the engineering watch confirms all 4 gas turbines turning normally. The damage control teams are bunked in their racks. The crew of 300 American sailors going about the rotation that has been the same on this hull every single night for the past 3 weeks. No panic, no noise, just the disciplined routine of a Navy that's owned this water for 50 years. Then the radar operator leans forward in his chair. There's something off the Iranian coast that shouldn't be there. Before we get into the next hour, if you're watching this and you haven't hit subscribe yet, do it now. Hit the bell. Because naval analysis at this level, real scenario, real assets, real presidential orders, gets buried fast on YouTube. This is the kind of content the platform hides, downranks, and pushes off your feed. You might never find another channel breaking down modern naval combat the way we do it here. Subscribe now, hit the bell. And let's get back to the chaos that's about to start. 23:27. Calm sea. Radar operator leaning forward. 12 contacts.
Weapon status.
Breaking from the Iranian coast at high speed. Open formation. The operator runs the automatic classification. Fast surface contacts. Speed exceeding 35 knots. Small radar signature. Pattern consistent with military fast attack craft. The tactical action officer is at the central console in 15 seconds. The commanding officer steps down from his cabin to CIC inside 60. Everyone in position. On the ship's radar, the Aegis system, the 12 contacts begin to separate into 3 distinct vectors. 4 boats to the north, 4 to the northwest, 4 to the east. Speed, course, intent. This is not commercial traffic, not fishing, not patrol. This is encirclement. The CO calls for immediate visual identification. The destroyer's thermal cameras start sweeping the water. The operator locks on the northern vector first. On the screen, 4 boats, small, fast, decks loaded. The tactical action officer confirms what nobody wants to hear. Naval mines stacked on the deck of at least 2 of them. Anti-ship missile launchers mounted on the others. Iran's Revolutionary Guard. IRGC, the Navy of the Corps. The American CO doesn't need to ask for rules of engagement. The ROE has been active for less than 24 hours. Direct presidential order, posted on the social media platform of the President of the United States. Shoot and kill any Iranian boat laying mines in the Strait of Hormuz. No hesitation. He still calls 5th Fleet Command in Manama.
Fleet Command.
Protocol.
This is Destroyer 6 actual.
Confirmation of positive
contact with
identification.
45 Delta.
Confirmation of
Requesting
hostile
immediate support
intent.
Authorization.
Confirmation of weapons authorization. The response comes back in 22 seconds. 22 seconds that matter.
All stations,
Authorization
stations.
confirmed.
We have confirmed hostile
ROE
inbound.
active.
Weapons free.
Standard
Weapons
procedure.
free. Set condition
The radio
1.
warning goes out in Farsi and English 3 times, all international maritime frequencies. Vessels approaching USS Cole, reduce speed and alter course immediately. Any attempt to deploy mines or fire weapons will be treated as a hostile act. Silence. The 12 boats keep closing. 10 miles. 9. 8. That silence matters. The CO orders the second helicopter into the air. The maintenance bird stays on deck. The armed one is up in under 2 minutes. The American helicopter, a naval combat helicopter, the MH-60R Seahawk, clears the destroyer's flight deck and breaks east. The helicopter's thermal cameras feed live imagery straight into CIC. On screen, crystal clear confirmation. Russian pattern naval mines on the lead 2 boats of the northern vector. Short-range anti-ship missiles, Chinese C-704, mounted on the launchers in the eastern vector. The Iranians didn't come to scare USS Cole. They came to sink USS Cole. 7 miles. 6. 5. The CO orders evasive maneuver. The destroyer heels into a starboard turn, opening firing arcs for the main 5-inch gun across all 3 vectors. Precision. Bearing. Control. Over the bridge to bridge, the CO transmits the engagement order. His voice is flat.
Weapons free.
Weapons free. All units cleared to engage. The main 5-inch deck gun fires the first round. The lead boat in the northern vector explodes before the Iranian helmsman finishes whatever he was saying on his radio. Columns of white water rise around the warship. The close-in defense system spins up and locks on the eastern vector. The American helicopter fires an air-to-surface missile at the second boat in the northwestern vector. Another boat turns into wreckage, but 2 boats from the eastern vector punch through to 2,000 yards within anti-ship missile range. One of them launches. The missile lifts off the water and tracks straight for the destroyer. The destroyer's close-in defense system reacts in under 2 seconds. Tracer rounds slice through the pre-dawn sky, and the Iranian missile disintegrates 300 yards short of the hull. At the same time, the destroyer's automatic deck cannon opens up on the 2 boats that fired. Both Iranian boats are wreckage in 5 seconds. The American helicopter takes out the 4th boat in the eastern vector with the second missile. The helicopter's heavy machine gun cuts the water behind the 5th. Nobody overreacts. Nobody has to. Layered defense doing what it was built to do. Main gun for long range. Autocannon for medium. CIWS for whatever leaks through. Naval combat helicopter sweeping the flanks. Each layer covering exactly what the layer in front of it might miss. In 9 minutes, 11 of the 12 Iranian boats are destroyed or sinking. The 12th runs for the Iranian coast. The American destroyer lets it go. Not mercy. Discipline. A retreating threat outside the engagement zone is not a target under the ROE the President published 40 hours earlier. The system stops when the system is supposed to stop. They didn't fight a ship. They fought a system. And this isn't fiction. On April 23, 2026, the President of the United States posted a direct order to the United States Navy on Truth Social. Shoot and kill any Iranian boat laying mines in the Strait of Hormuz. No hesitation. In the same post, he ordered American minesweeping operations in the strait tripled. The order came hours after the seizure of a sanctioned tanker carrying Iranian crude in the Indian Ocean. The second seizure that week. A fragile ceasefire between Washington and Tehran had been holding for weeks. But IRGC fast boats kept harassing commercial traffic in the strait with mines and surface attacks. The United Kingdom was preparing Royal Navy clearance divers for a multinational mine clearing operation. The Royal Navy training explosive ordnance disposal specialists alongside autonomous mine hunting systems. The Strait of Hormuz is 90 kilometers wide at its narrowest point. It's the artery 1/5 of the world's oil flows through. What you just watched isn't history. It's a possibility. It's what happens the next time the IRGC tries to lay mines in that water. The 12th Iranian boat disappears in the direction of Larak Island. USS Cole holds general quarters for another 40 minutes, watching every bearing on the horizon. CIC logs 11 confirmed kills in the engagement record. The weapons officer checks remaining 5-inch ammunition, still over half. On the ship's radar, the surviving contacts head for home. Speed dropping, formation broken, distance opening. The radar operator calls it in a flat voice. Distance opening, contacts withdrawing. USS Cole doesn't change course. Not yet. The CO transmits an encrypted after-action report to 5th Fleet Headquarters in Manama. No American casualties, no hull damage. Munition expended within parameters. ROE complied with to the letter. Presidential directive executed exactly as posted. No drift, no hesitation, no confusion. That's the difference between a trained warship and a scared one. What the Pentagon won't confirm publicly is that this exact scenario has been wargamed and rehearsed by the United States Navy for years. The April directive didn't create the capability. It authorized the execution. Every layer of the destroyer's defense exists for the moment 12 boats show up at the same time, from 3 different vectors before sunrise. It's not luck. It's doctrine. It's training. It's technology working as a single integrated system. The Iranians calculated that the layered defense would saturate if they hit from 3 vectors at once. They calculated wrong. American doctrine was written for exactly this scenario. Every system on the ship covers a specific window of range and threat. And the naval combat helicopter, the one flying escort 8 miles off the destroyer's beam, is the layer the adversary never sees on radar. The Navy's quiet thesis is that as long as Iran keeps committing to swarms, the result is going to keep being the same. The Strait of Hormuz is 90 kilometers wide at its narrowest point, and 11 Iranian boats are sitting on the bottom. Now I want to hear from you. Did the CO do the right thing waiting 22 seconds for command confirmation before opening fire? Or should the presidential shoot-to-kill order have been executed the second the radar confirmed 12 hostile contacts inbound on his ship? Drop your take in the comments. The debate starts down there, and I read every single one. And if you made it this far and you haven't hit subscribe yet, hit it now. Hit the bell. Because the next video is already in production. And it's heavy. What happens if China decides to test the same swarm tactic against an American destroyer in the Taiwan Strait? Real scenario, real assets, global consequences. You don't want to miss this one. Subscribe, hit the bell, and we'll see you next week.